Today, we have a very special guest, a superstar from Pakistan.
And then I discovered the musical side in me, and that captivated me so sweetly.
Thank you so much! Pakistan! Zindabad! I love you!
I think the most important thing is to be persistent. PSL is a moment where the entire country is waiting for the anthem when the tournament starts. Yes, it's very challenging to keep reproducing hits, but I just see it as something that comes and I'm just a vessel and it's done through me. That fear and doubt are your biggest enemies.
Hi, this is Nabil from BrickToRiches. Today, we have a very special guest, a superstar from Pakistan who's extremely talented in many facets, in acting, in singing, in songwriting, in composing, in directing. Mr. Ali Zafar, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
Fine, thank you. What about yourself?
Great. I'm doing great.
How are you finding the cold in England?
I can't say I'm loving it, but I think I'm enjoying it for sure. Parts of it. I got a sunny day yesterday. Normally I take the sun with me.
Good. You're lucky. You're blessed. You bring the sun with you.
I
So,
guess.
Ali Bhai, what I want to ask you, you've been in the top of your game for over 20 years. You are one of the biggest stars in Pakistan. You're the first Pakistani actor who went to Bollywood. What is your mindset? What makes you so special to be on the top of your game? How did you maintain that, to be at your A game all the time? What's the secret?
I think the most important thing is to be persistent, to believe in yourself, to have faith in Allah, and also to remain humble, most importantly, to remain true to your art, and just keep putting out the art and be sincere to it. Don't lie to what cannot be lied about. Be honest with your audience. And yeah, just keep walking.
Yeah, because I know you as a friend, and as a friend, I've always seen you, Ali Bhai. You're very humble, you're very polite, and you're very respectful, and you're very kind. And if you carry those attributes in life, then the universe generally reciprocates that and is kind to you. That's my belief. And you being a spiritual person, you believe the same. Now, Ali Bhai, recently you had a #1 hit in PSL, and it's still trending, and it's had over 1 billion hits. How do you feel about that? Did you write that song yourself?
I did.
Good.
And it feels very good, and I feel very humble because of the fact that, PSL is a moment where the entire country is waiting for the anthem when the tournament starts, and it is for the people. And I try to make something that people can dance to, sing along, and that means something to them. And if I'm able to give them lifelong, life-lasting memories with my songs and my anthems and my music, then to see the joy on their faces is what gives me joy. I love to make people happy. I love to spread joy. And to find myself to be able to do that, yes, it's very challenging to keep reproducing hits, but I just see it as something that comes and I'm just a vessel and it's done through me.
How long did it take to write that song?
Khul Ke Khel took about, the way it happens with me is that I start thinking about it and I open myself up to the universe to send that moment of intuition that is so important, where the poetry comes, where the melody comes. And then one fine day, it comes like lightning. And so it happens in that one moment
It just
for
all
me.
clicks into place.
Yeah, everything falls into place. And I know that that's the song, that's the melody. That's what I want to write about. And this time I wrote about the importance of being fearless in life, the importance of self-belief, the idea that we all create our reality and it's in our hands. So Khul Ke Khel, that play fearlessly. And that is what I believe in, that fear and doubt are your biggest enemies. And you must be self-assured and self-confident.
Wow. Amazing. With your PSL songs, you've done them before. And is this the best hit you've done in your career of PSLs, or the most number of hits? Is this the best one?
Well, so far, yes. There was another one that I did, season 2, Siti Bajegi, because it has been so many years have gone by. That song has so many special memories with people, and for me as well. But I think this song will pass Siti Bajegi in time as it grows, and every song has its own space and place, I believe, and I'm very happy that this song has been accepted and people are loving it and dancing to it and singing along.
Yeah, everybody around the world is talking about it. Even the overseas Pakistanis are loving it. And I wish you wonderful success in your singing career. But could you tell me, initially you started off as an artist, you used to do paintings, then you came from humble beginnings. What made you go into singing, songwriting? Because by nature, you're a very creative person. To be an artist, you have to be creative. So you move that creativity into singing, acting, songwriting. So how did it move? How did that shift happen?
When people ask me who I am, whether I'm an actor or a singer or what do I like to do more, I see myself as an artist, as somebody who actually loves to create. So I started off as a painter, as a sketch artist, and then I discovered the musical side in me, and that captivated me so sweetly that I was just encapsulated by the aura of the idea of being able to create poetry and music alongside my art and then bring it all together in form of maybe a film or a music video, because it all connects with each other. The visual representation of your ideas and the sonic representation of your ideas, they have a correlation. And to me, everything is connected and related to everything else. In the world of creativity, it's like literally like stars in a galaxy who are all giving each other light and sound
And signals,
signals. Yeah.
But for me, you obviously do many things. You can write, you can sing, you can act, you can produce, you can do sketches. But for me, I think the best suited for you is acting or singing, because you're a good-looking guy. So normally actors and singers are good-looking. So God's blessed you with a lot of talents, good looks, and a lot of creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I think it's more important for you to have a good heart.
Yes.
There are many good-looking people in the world, better-looking people than me. I'm just an average Joe. But I think that it's important to be a good human being.
Of course. So true.
Yeah.
That's what we all try to do, improve ourselves as humans. Yeah. Now, Ali Bhai, obviously, I understand you are a spiritual person as well, and you like to pay it forward to the universe because God's blessed you, and you want to thank God for that, and you like to pay it forward, and you do a lot of philanthropy work. What do you do for the sake of the listeners or watchers? What do you do, especially the British Pakistanis or the Pakistanis around the world who will be watching this podcast? What do you do you've got a foundation, I understand?
Ali Zafar Foundation.
And what's the objective of this foundation?
The objective of this foundation is to empower the youth, especially the women, and the marginalized society. In Pakistan, you can see that it's very important that tolerance and acceptance is the idea of tolerance and acceptance and progression and being progressive, being enlightened is projected and inculcated in our society as much as possible, because the society can only move forward and grow and evolve if these basic human values like compassion and empathy and kindness and being accepting towards each other's beliefs and ideas, that's there. Apart from that, we focus on education, sometimes health. So we take care of different things, but for me, something that I'm personally very passionate about is the idea that the world that's coming in the future is going to be a place where if humanity does not evolve, higher than where it is right now, emotionally, physically, mentally, and in all its manifestation, then it's going to be very difficult for us to exist to the best of our abilities. So I think it's important to create a new human being, which is more evolved, which is more structured, and societies and cultures need to be more enriched, more in synergy with each other, societies and people
Yes.
from all over. And the idea of oneness, that eventually we're all one,
Yes.
whether you're black or white or Asian or French or from the East or the West, whatever. Eventually we're all one human race. And I think it's very important for us to come to that single point agenda to evolve
Yes.
as human race.
And if somebody wants to donate to your charity, Ali Bhai, how do they do it? Go on your website. Is there a page there with the bank details? How would people donate?
alizafar.org. You can
Yes.
go to our website and you can donate and see the causes that we support and also that we're working on.
It's commendable that you're doing this, because normally people, like a lot of sports stars in Pakistan, they do foundations at the end of their career, but you're doing this whilst you're at the peak of your career. So it's very commendable that you want to help people and you'll continue to do this.
There's an idea in that's taught in Islam, a religion, that sahi ibadat jawani ki hoti hai, meaning in English that the right time to to pray or to be connected to God or to help His people is in your youth, because that is when there's a tendency that you can feel invincible, or when you're at a place where you feel that I'm some whatever, then you tend to forget your roots and your actual reality, where you come from and where you're headed to. We all headed to that one place.
Yes.
We're in this life for that brief amount of time. And as the great boxer Muhammad Ali said, that charity is the rent you pay in this life for the room that you have
in the hereafter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Beautiful quote.
it is very important to be charitable, to do things for others, and to live your life selflessly, because a selfless life is a beautiful life. It enriches your soul. So there's no point in being egotistical or selfish or
the feeling you get from giving.
Yourself.
The feeling you get, Ali, from giving is phenomenal.
Yeah, you don't get that feeling from anything else when you do a good deed. Even like when you take a dog from off the street that's not well, and you take care of an animal or a pet, let alone a human being or even a plant.
Yes.
You give water to a dying plant and it comes to life. So I mean, the whole earth, the entire planet, you're a part of a bigger scheme.
Yes.
So these small acts of kindness really make a dent in the universe, I believe.
And I'd like to help your charity by donating. And also, Ali, I'm a property expert. I buy in distressed properties. That's what this channel is. So when your charity in the UK, when my friends and family associates donate, I like to get your property here distressed, 30-40% below the market value. And that property will help you get rent for your charity and help towards the running costs.
Thank you. I certainly would love your advice and whatever we can do to generate resource to help people out.
I've helped many people with that way because obviously it's a long-term benefit that will happen to the charity, because the pound will always get stronger against the rupee.
Yeah. So we have a proper board
of
members, and how things happen is that we take everything to the board, and then the board decides. I will certainly like to take this up, send this to the board and seek their permission on this.
It's good to see you've got a good infrastructure. As well as being a good artist, you're a businessman too.
Well, I think in today's world and age, you've got to be smart about it. I've seen many artists who have served art through their lives but died out of poverty. And I think it's, nowadays especially, it's important for an artist to be aware of, so that nobody can rob you from your rights as an artist, your intellectual copyrights, or you. I think it's important to be able to have a good life as an artist too. That idea, that age-old idea that an artist is meant to be poor and living in shambles, or I don't agree with that. I think an artist's life should be fulfilling, can be fulfilling too. An artist doesn't always have to be a heartbroken soul lying on the streets, craving for other people to help him out. You need to be independent and well settled. That's what I believe in.
Because I've seen many celebrities in my lifespan who have been made it to the top and then went bankrupt. And because they haven't been entrepreneurs, but it's refreshing speaking to you because you're very intelligent, you're gifted in acting, singing, but you're also an entrepreneur. That's probably helped you stay at your A game. So when you do contracts with, let's say, films or singing, so you have that commercial mindset that comes to the table, so you know what you're doing. Nobody can take advantage of you.
That's very important, and I've learned it the hard way. There was one time this director, he made me shoot a TV commercial, and then when I asked him for my money, he sued me in return,
Really?
so that he doesn't have to pay me. So I learned my lesson once. So now all my contracts now are checked by my legal team.
Yes.
I won that case, by the way, from
I remember
that
one,
director.
yeah.
And so now all the contracts are done legally. I have a legal team. I have a professional office that takes care of different departments. And I have an entire setup and a production house. So yeah, mashallah, I'm blessed, and I like to do things professionally.
Best way
I
if
think
you want to grow.
The
And
difference
maintain your name.
between an amateur and a professional is that a professional does things professionally.
Yes.
And I like to take pride in my work ethic and work and behave like a professional.
Good. That's the only way you can grow. That's the only way you get stronger and stronger. And also, Ali, I want to talk about your experience in India. You were the first Pakistani actor to go to India. How were you received in India, and how did you get on in India? How many films did you do in India?
I did about 7 films actually in India. Spent about 6 to 7 years working there, back and forth, and I had an amazing time working there. People that kind of love and so many fond memories that I have from that place while working in India, and I hope that things get better and we can continue to take advantage of each other's skill set and creativity as artists, as producers, as directors, to create better art together. Because in the end, as an artist, I feel it's all about the art that will remain forever, and everything else will just vanish in the grand scheme of things.
And something you touched on earlier, religion and politics should not get into the dividing of two countries, because we're all ultimately human beings. And Pakistan and India are one once in pre-1947. It's a shame that they can't work together right now due to the politics.
There's only one conflict that has ever been in the history of mankind. And that conflict is that my belief is better than yours. What I believe in is superior to what you believe in. I see it this way, that we all have our own belief systems and we all believe in it so strongly and emotionally that somebody who does not see things the way we do, we tend to see them as the other, the opposite, or the enemy. Human ego plays tricks on a human or a group of people to make them believe superior to the other sometimes. That is always counterproductive. The nice way to live is to be able to coexist peacefully together, to construct, to create for the betterment of humanity, for the betterment of your people, create a better world, a better future.
Yes.
And if we don't understand the importance of doing that, in this day and age, because this is a very critical point in human history. We could either go this way or that way. And which is why it is very important for people who believe in humanity above all to come together and express their ideas so that the shift that happens in the right direction. And therefore, it's important for us to be more aware, be more mindful, to awaken to a new beginning. And I believe that humanity is waking up.
Good. We all want that. Now, the other question I want to ask you, Ali Bhai, is you're such a talented artist. How can we never consider Hollywood or working in English cinema or America, Hollywood? Why have we not considered that? You should be there working because you're so gifted naturally.
There have been certain projects that have been in discussion in Hollywood. COVID came, and then recently I was in talks with a few filmmakers, and then this is Palestine and Israel issue came up, and I took a very strong stand for the Palestinian people, and I could see them backing out. But I took a stand consciously because I saw myself answerable to my own conscience in this life and the afterlife. And to be human is to stand with the oppressed.
You have to stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
No innocent people, irrespective of colour, religion, or background, should be killed the way they are in Palestine.
Yeah. No one.
No.
So every human being has the right to dignity, the right to life, the basic rights that are, given to you by birth. So nobody should be persecuted like that. And I think that being in Hollywood, being a star and all this and that, I mean, it's good. You should aspire for it. I aspire for it. I've always aspired to become a global actor or singer. But there are greater things and ideas to aspire for also. And as I said, that your personal aspiration versus something that is above and bigger than you is more important, I think, for all of us to recognize.
Because in Hollywood, I can see like Antonio Banderas look for you, nice Mexican hero.
I believe that I strongly believe that if your heart is at the right place, your intentions are clear, and you don't really care about, what's going to come and go. God grants you and gifts you with what is yours. Nobody can take away from me what is mine. Nobody can give me what is not written for me. That is my belief. In time, all shall happen.
I love the way you've gone very spiritual over the years I've known you. So you're growing spiritually as well as you're growing all the time as an artist. What made you grow spiritually? Just experience life?
There's a quote by Rumi. He says, "The wound is where the light enters you." So I believe that God takes you through different stages, different whirlpools or adversities, whatever you might want to call it, to take you. Actually, there's a quote that says, God takes his men into deep waters, not to drown them, but to cleanse them. And I think that everything that happens in your life, every challenge that comes your way comes with an opportunity for you to grow. Yes. When we speak about growth, for me, growth is not to have 3 cars instead of 1 or 4 houses. And so for me, growth is your spiritual growth, your mental growth, your growth as a person, because we're not flesh and bone. We are a spirit inside a body.
Yes.
And the body's going to perish, decompose, and the spirit's going to stay and move on. So what's more important? So being spiritual means being aware of who you are really. So who are you? That's the important question.
Nice to see that growth. And also, Ali Bhai, how did you manage to stay so humble? You're a superstar in Pakistan. So a lot of people with your fame some people become arrogant, but one thing I observed with you with time, you're becoming more and more humble. So what's the secret? Because lots of young people listening, watching this podcast, I want them to be always be humble, and God loves the humble servant.
I see all of this stardom or things that you're blessed with in this material reality as a test to test you how you were when you were rich and famous or a star or when everybody loved you. So God tests you by either taking something away or giving you something. In both moments, you have to be humble and recognize, as I said, recognize who you really are.
So you've always keep your feet on the ground.
If you don't, you'll drown.
Yes. Okay. And also, Levi, we were talking earlier, and I like the way you're writing poems and you're extremely creative. Just for the viewers, could you read one or two of those poems out? Because that's different aspects of your life I want people to know and listen to.
I mostly write in Urdu, but there are some scribbles that I've done in English, so I'll read one out for you.
Please.
So it goes like this. Slowly and swiftly, they took over our hearts and minds and turned them into black matter. Matter that would burn but never glow, move but never flow, take but never give, exist but never live. What happened to the wind that spoke, the thunder that awoke, a life well spent, a melody that had scent, the silence that had music, music that was bliss, the woman in love yearning for her first kiss. Stars that shone across distance and time, a melody without rhythm or rhyme, the smoke around the fire like a burning desire, the fantasy in a dream, the dream within a dream. What happened while I was gone? What happened while I was gone?
Wow. Very nice. Very deep.
Yeah.
So, Alibai, when do you write these? In your spare time or when you're reflecting or?
It comes in a moment where it has to happen. And that could be any moment, anywhere, at any time.
If you're busy with family or children, then obviously you must do this in quiet time.
Yeah, mostly it comes when your mind is less distracted, empty, connected. Sometimes maybe when it's in conflict. Sometimes when you feel broken or down, or you're thoughtful or contemplating or something, or you're seeking, just seeking. When you seek, it comes.
Nice. Very talented.
Thank you.
You're a poet, singer, writer, artist, model, everything, all in one. God's blessed you with many things.
I think we all have it inside us. We just need to get out of our own way.
Nice. Also, Alibai, there's lots of young upcoming actors, singers, and everybody who in Pakistan, Southern Asia, inspires to be like you one day. What tips would you give the new incoming generation who wants to be an actor, singer, model, songwriter? What would you tell them to do?
Do it for the right reason. Be conscious of the reason why you want to get into it. And if the reason is to just feed your ego, then that's all you're going to get. Ego is going to eat you up. Eventually, your ego is going to eat you up. If you're doing it for the sake of art, for the sake of creating something that has not been created before, for the sake of contributing to creation itself, in itself, to humanity, to your own personal desire to express your truth, then go for it. And go for it hard. And keep going. Keep walking.
So it's all about intentions. That's the message you're giving. Have the right
Yeah.
intentions.
Everything is about intention. Everything is about intention.
Because some people want to be famous just to maybe get attention from women. Some people want to fame for the ego massage. But you're saying you have to actually think about the bigger picture and what you bring into the society, what you bring into the universe.
Attention will come and go. Because if you're getting in for that reason, there will always be somebody better looking, more talented,
Yes.
somebody better than you. But as I said, if you become an idea more than just somebody who likes to do stuff, then an idea never dies. It remains for the right reasons.
Good. I like that. Something to reflect on for everybody. And also, Levi, you're an entrepreneur. You've been in this industry for 20 years. And when you make money from acting, singing, etc., what do you do with that money? Do you invest in real estate? What do you do with that? Because you're an entrepreneur as well, above all. So what do you do with that money?
You don't believe me, but from the moment I started earning, I used to, my manager used to hand over everything to my father. And then he would do whatever with it that he wanted to. And with my uncle, I think they would invest in real estate, most likely, because that's like a safe. My father's a very good, simple soul.
Yes.
And so I think I've left it mostly on them. But now recently I've gotten more involved, and I take interest in what can we do, what would be the best use of what I've made.
I'll help you make money in real estate in
Okay.
the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Because I've invested in Pakistan as well. And the thing with Pakistan, even the property value might go up, but on the international level, the rupee is depreciating. So if you convert that money into pounds or dollars, you've actually not made any money in real terms, sadly. And because the world's so small, and we're working on an international playground now. So next time we make some big money, I'll help you invest in the United Kingdom.
Well, I hope I do sometimes in my life.
You will. You've got a big career ahead of you.
I'm just a poor artist.
You can keep on going.
Yeah, but I will certainly take your advice for sure.
Yeah, most welcome. You're a friend. As a friend, you came on this podcast. You had many offers, and you accepted my invitation.
This is probably the second podcast I've ever done in my life. I have stopped giving too many interviews.
Yeah. And I appreciate you made that love and time and effort for me. So I like to reciprocate that favor and love as a brother by getting a nice property deal.
Okay. But this was conditionless.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I want to do it unconditional. Whenever you're ready.
Unconditional.
Yeah, whenever you're there, I'll always be there to help you.
Thank you.
Ali Bhai, obviously, to get an artist like you are today, you have to have a structure in place, sleeping pattern, exercise pattern, a full routine. What's your morning routine, daily routine? What do you normally do?
I'm not really allowed to have a routine as much as I would love to have it, because I'm always on the go in different timelines and time zones in the world. But what I've learned is that a few tips and tricks is to empower your subconscious mind and to get inside your head to that level, because that is so powerful that you can manifest anything that you want almost. And so when I'm waking up in the morning, when my consciousness is waking up, I give myself affirmations, and they are that, firstly, gratitude. Thank you, God, for bringing me into this world, this life. Thank you for this health. Thank you for the health of my family. Thank you for giving us so much joy, health, and happiness, and so much more. And then I visualize my family smiling and happy. I visualize myself in a moment of bliss and joy with my loved ones. I visualize the planet Earth and everything on it and inside it, and its part in the greater cosmos, and then connect to that energy and that source and ask for blessings for everything that there is, and then wake up with that gratitude. And then sometimes I would manifest my entire day as I would want it to happen, play it like a movie in front of my eyes, that today my day is going to be like this. And most of the time it goes like that. And before going to sleep, there's a very effective mantra that I've been practicing and it's really been helpful, and that is, thank you, God, for resolving this issue. Thank you, God, for resolving the issue. And then in no time, whatever issue that there may be in my mind that's going on, it's resolved the next day. So I think being in a state of gratitude all the time, and being in a state when you're aware of His presence and being connected to Him at all times is the key. That is what my belief is.
Wow. Very deep.
Mm,
Do you practice meditation as well?
I do.
Daily or how often?
I mean, it has to be, every single moment has to be meditative.
Wow. Good to see this spiritual side. I'm going to start practicing that as well.
Yeah.
So all my problems go away too early. Like. And also earlier you were saying that everyone gets dealt certain cards and you have to deal with those cards. But as a believer, we believe, Ali Bhai, that God helps those who help themselves. For example, if I want to go to the gym, if I want to get a six-pack, I have to go to the gym, have to train hard and watch my diet and get good sleep. So if you want to be a successful singer, actor, you have to put the effort in. So going back to that point, you have to deal with the cards that God gives you. What's your view on that?
There's a ayat in the Quran that says, a close translation would be that there is nothing for a person except that what he himself tries for. So the idea to just leave everything to God to do is not something that is taught to us. You have to strive yourself. You have to try yourself. Even in Islam, the Prophet said first to tie your camel.
Yes.
You know, so you have to make the effort for whatever you want to happen and manifest. That's what I believe in. But everything will be granted with His will.
Good. It's been a pleasure having you, Ali Bhai, on the podcast. It's been very refreshing and inspiring. For me, sitting here with you, I feel recharged, reset, and ready to relaunch. So I hope the message to everybody who's listening and watching, they feel inspired the way I do. So I'd like to thank you for your time, for joining BrickToRiches podcast. Thank you so much, Ali Bhai, and I wish you all the best in your career, in the spiritual career, in your singing, your acting, in your family, and everything you do. God bless you with success even more.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you, Ali Bhai.
Thank you so much.
Now I'm going to bring this episode to an end. I'd like to thank everybody for watching it, and I'd like to thank Mr. Ali Zafar for his valuable time. And don't forget to donate to alizafarfoundation.org. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.